Hi everyone, welcome back to your online sessions. Today, this is a session that we're going to be doing using the softball as a prop. And these exercises are going to work on spinal mobility. They're going to target your core and your glutes as well. So we're going to start in a standing position with your feet in parallel. Think about the way that you're standing and having the weight equally distributed over both feet. You're going to give those shoulders a roll back, drop the shoulders down, and stay really lifted out the top of your head. With the ball, hold it with your right hand against the outside of your right thigh. Keep that left shoulder down, and you're slowly going to roll the ball down the outside of that thigh. So it's going to give you some length through the left side. Be careful not to lift the left heel. Gently push down into the ball to work your core and then return to the top. Shoulders back, collarbones open. Again, roll the ball down the outside of the right leg, and this time if you want to bend your left elbow a little bit, you can. So you've got the length there, push into the ball, draw down through the ribs and the hips to come back to the top. We'll do a couple more on that side. Ball rolls down, left elbow bends, you'll pause. Push the ball into the outer thigh. Use your obliques to help you come back to the top. One more time. A lift of the chest. You're only taking that bend to the side. You're not allowing yourself to collapse forwards. So think about the direction of movement and then come back to the top. You can take the ball in the left hand, right arm down by your side, give the shoulders a roll. Then rolling the ball down the outside of your left leg. Keep that right heel firmly planted into the floor. Push into the ball. Use the ribs. Draw them to the hips to come to the top. Don't worry about how far you're going. The ball doesn't have to go very far down the leg. Try and avoid shrugging this right shoulder now. Keep it down and come back to the top. If you want to bend your right elbow, you can add that part in. Still pushing down the feet equally, even though you've taken a bend. Rib cage closes down. Bring the ball up. One more time. Rolling and reaching, taking that lovely side bend. Little pause, squeeze into the ball, activate your core, and then come to the top. Now we're going to place the ball between the knees, and the reason we're doing that is so that if we start to move through the lower part of the body, if the ball moves, we're going to feel that shift happening. So we want to try and keep the lower part of the body nice and still. With your hands together, your thumbs resting on your chest bone, elbows are going to be out wide. Drop the shoulders down. Keep the feet and the knees and the hips still whilst you rotate around to the right hand side. So my thumbs are staying on my chest bone, my knuckles are still pointing up towards my chin. I'll breathe in as I untwist, and then I'll breathe out as you twist around to the left hand side. Try not to let your feet roll, because sometimes those big toes can start to lift or your ankles roll out. Shoulders are staying heavy, elbows are out wide, rotate around to the right hand side. Little pause, try not to twist, you'll feel that ball move. Come through the middle, breathe in, breathe out. Twist to the left. And you might notice there's a bit of a difference in terms of how far you can twist one way or how far you can twist the other way. Just take your time, do what feels comfortable. And remember, feet, knees, and hips are staying still. One more time, breathe in as you pass through the middle, and then breathe out as you twist around to the left. Coming back through the middle. Then you can take the ball out from between the knees. I'll just stand from the side now so you can see the ball is held in towards my chest. I'm going to start to nod my chin down and roll the ball down the front of my body. So I'm letting the nose come down towards my chest. I'm then going to soften through my knees so my hamstrings don't take over with the stretch. Top of my head then starts to pull me towards the floor, and you can roll that ball slowly down the front of the thighs towards your knees and your shins. Be careful of the knees sticking together at this point, and then you're going to pause. Push through your heels to activate through the back of the body. Squeeze into the glutes. Tuck the base of the spine under first. Use your core to help you. Try not to shrug the shoulders up. The ball will roll all the way up. Lifting the chin away from the chest as you come back to the top. Now just be careful, because sometimes the shoulders can end up really high after that roll down. So drop them down, and we're going to do again. Roll down, nod the chin down, let the ball roll down the front of the body, softening through the knees. Feels really nice to stretch out through your spine like this. Don't worry about how far you go. You're not necessarily having to come all the way to the floor. You can just take a moment and then find the connection with your heels to work through the back of the body. Pelvis starts to tilt backwards, tucking the tailbone under. Roll the ball up the front of the body, shoulders come down, and the last thing is the chin lifting away from the chest. You can take the ball up, take a really nice big stretch, and then this one is going to bring you all the way down. Ball comes to the chest, nod the chin, then the nose comes down, leading with the crown of the head. Don't rush through this movement, take your time, softening through the knees, and the ball will help you find that direction of movement as you come all the way down onto the floor. So keep bending those knees then. Walk the hands out so that you are able to find your 4-point kneeling position. Now the ball is going to be wedged between your knees. You can pop it there now. And then take a moment by doing a couple of pelvic tilts or shifting of your body weight from side to side. You're going to take a moment to find your neutral spine. So we don't want any extra curves in the spine. You don't want to be too rounded or arched. You want to have a flat back. And then you're going to tuck your toes under. The aim of this exercise is to stabilize with your shoulders. Use your core to help you. You'll breathe in to prepare. You'll breathe out. And you're going to do a very slight lift of the knees and carefully place them down. It will look really small from what you can see me doing. What we don't want to do is lift too high and shift the weight too far forwards and then crash the knees back down. This is about precision and control. Bring the shoulders right down from your ears. Tuck your armpits in, press through your toes, breathe in to prepare. Breathe out, little lift of the knees. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Every time you feel like you're scrunching the shoulders, take a moment to pause, bring them down, readjust the position of your pelvis. It's better to take a little pause in between each one than keep going and feeling like you're losing your connection. Lift the knees and hold for a moment. You might feel a bit shaky in the arms and then lower it down. Try your best to not let your shoulders come too far over your hands because that will feel quite intense on the wrists as well. Lift, exhale, lower, inhale. Lift and exhale, hold, inhale to lower. One more time. Lift the knees, squeeze the ball slightly, and then lower it down. Release the toes, sit back for a moment. You can give those wrists a little wiggle. You can roll the shoulders, and then we're going to come into a side lying position. So if you've got a block that you want to put down on the mat for your head, you can, but you're going to lie on your right side. And the ball is going to go behind the back of your left knee. So as I'm coming down now, I'm going to make sure that I am supported with my head, and then my feet, knees and hips are going to be stacked for a moment. Sometimes the ball can feel a little bit tricky to get there, so take your time. So make sure your shoulders are stacked as well. Head is comfortable. Now you're going to lift your left leg, not too high, so that your knee and your ankle and your hip are all at the same height. We don't want to be anything like this or too twisted or rolling back. So it's only slight. You're then keeping your hips stacked. You're bringing the knee up towards you, but you don't want to come too far that you end up really squeezing into your core. So it's only a slight movement. You're going to bring the leg behind. What can sometimes happen is we bring too much momentum into it and then we end up swinging and it's all through the pelvis rather than into your glute. So if we slow it down, the knee comes up, you pause, try not to let the knee drop too low, and then you press the leg back. By holding the ball, you might notice your hamstrings are gripping on here as well. So just take your time, be really steady, sweep forwards, little pause, and then bring it back. Notice that I'm not bringing my knee too high in towards my chest. I could do, but again, I'd have to compensate and move my pelvis. So sometimes smaller range of movement is better. Now I'm already starting to feel this working outside of my hip and my glute area. So we're going to do a couple more. Sweep it back, I'm pushing down slightly with the bottom leg as well, so that's starting to fire up too. Draw the leg back. And then last one, I'm going to bring it forwards, slightly press it back, and then I'm going to lift. And I'm going to lower. When I'm lifting, I'm not collapsing into my waist. I'm keeping my top side of my waist long. The lift and the lower is fairly small in terms of range of movement. Really starting to feel it intensify now. We've got 4 more. Keep breathing. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you lower. 2 more. Keep that top hip really stacked over the bottom one. Oh my word, this is killing my thigh and my glute. Lower it down. You can take the ball out. Do what you need to do. Straighten that leg out or bend it. Bring it in a little bit more. Before rolling onto our back, we will do the other side in a moment. You're going to still have the ball behind the back of your left knee. Okay, so take it back into that position. Have your right foot down on the floor for a moment and bring your hands onto your hips and your pelvis. I've got the block underneath my head just to help me feel more comfortable. But then I'm going to press down with my back. So I'm starting to imprint my spine into the floor so that I can also bring my right leg to tabletop. I'm then going to straighten my right leg up towards the ceiling, lower it halfway down, and then bring it back up. What I'm not going to do is let it go too low that my back starts to arch. So I'm going to keep that range of movement smaller. I'm really sticking my pelvis into the floor. If you find that this is still pulling into your lower back, what you can do is bring your hands underneath you, support the position of your pelvis, not underneath your lower back, it's quite far down. And then when you're lifting and lowering that right leg down, you might feel a little bit more uncomfortable. Still going to get the work going on into the core. You might notice your right thigh and your right hip flexor start to work as well. Lift the right leg and lower it down. Not too far. You should still be able to see the toes of your right foot as you're lowering. Be careful not to swing and use momentum and kick the leg up in the air too quickly. You're using your thighs and your core to keep you stable. We're going to go for 3, 2, and 1. Bend that right leg. Take the ball behind the right leg. If you need to change position or adjust yourself a little bit, you can. And then we're going to straighten your left leg up towards the ceiling, point the toes. Keep the right leg still, lengthen the left leg. It can come down, not too far. Slowly draw it up and press it down. Keep your eyes looking at the ceiling. So you've got a real nice still position with your head and neck. Left leg lowers and it lifts. Be careful again of not going too low that it crashes to the floor and you have to throw the leg around. Take your time and remember, think about this part of your body here that you are stabilizing yourself with. You might feel a little bit shaky. Obviously your thigh on that left side now might be kicking in as well. To keep your leg extended, lower and lift. Lower it down and lift. 2 more. Take your time. Bring the leg up. Last one. And bring it back. Bring that left leg in, placing the foot to the floor. You can take the ball out for a moment if you want to have a full body stretch before rolling onto the other side to do your right leg lift and lower with the ball behind the knee. So I'm just going to change the way that I am on my mat so you can see it a little bit better. I'm lying on my left side now with the ball behind the back of my right knee. And it just takes me a moment to get it there. Take your time. Come down onto the floor. So your hips are stacked, knees are as well, and your feet. You're going to start by lifting that right leg in the air, keeping the waist long. Now, as you remember, the knee comes up towards your chest, but you don't want to feel like you're squashing your side. So it comes up in front slightly, and then you're using the hip to come into extension using the glute to pull it back. Little pause, and then slowly sweep it forwards. Breathe in, and then breathe out. Think about the underside of your body as well. Try and keep that lifted. That will help you with the length on this top side. Breathe in, knee comes up and in front of the hip, and then slowly bringing it back. Try not to let your heel come in the air too much, or even the knee just to drop down. As the leg starts to fatigue, you might start to feel heavier. So use the outside of the hip here as best as you can. Sweep it back. Try not to pop your rib cage either. And then bring the knee in front. Breathe in. Try not to drop the ball. Doesn't matter if you do, but you want to keep the hamstring switched on. Keeping the knee bent. Holding the ball there. Knee comes in front. Breathe in. Sweep it back. Breathe out. Tight into the core still. A few more. Starting to feel it build, and draw it back. All about this hip here on this top side. Even though the bottom leg is pushing into the mat, you might feel it a little bit. Okay, so from here, if we just bring the leg slightly in front again with that knee, and then you're going to lift and you're lowering. Be careful not to lift too high that the waist collapses. That's all about the spine and the pelvis. So keep that top hip as far away from you as you can. So when you lift that leg, it feels really difficult, but you can't lift it as far. Lift and lower. Oh, it's burning. Lift and lower. Breathe through it. Take your time. You can do it. 4 more. And down. Keep that waist long for 3. Hand can stay on the hip, and lower it down. You've got 2 more. Almost there. And close. Last one. Lift and lower, and then bring it back down. Oh my word, you can straighten the leg out. Give it a little pat and roll onto your back for the final exercise. You don't need anything underneath your head for this one. You can take that out of the way. So the ball now is going to go between your knees as you're lying down on your back. Just a little grip of the ball. Hands can come onto your hips and your pelvis. You're going to be coming into the bridge. Feet are in the floor, hip distance apart. Try not to have your feet too far away from you. That's going to get your hamstrings more. And we're wanting to target more into the glutes. So as your feet are quite close towards your body, elbows and shoulders are relaxed. Eyes are looking straight up towards the ceiling. Breathe in. Breathe out, tilt the pelvis backwards, start to curl up, pushing firmly through the heels, so you're getting this rolling up through the back of the body. Through the front of the body, there's more length from the hips to the thighs and the knees, and just be aware of the position of your rib cage. Try and avoid it popping out. Keep it down. Toes are down as well, and then sequential movement rolling through the spine slowly and steadily. As you come down, just be careful of the pelvis rolling forwards. Keep that pressed in. And then continue with that backwards tilt to roll up. If you decide to make it harder, you can hold your arms in the air. Just remember, keep the shoulders stuck down. And you've got a light squeeze of that ball. Take your time, roll down. Slowly moving through the vertebrae. Think about like a bicycle chain as it sticks down, one chain at a time. That's happening with your spine. Now this bridge that you're going to roll up with, as you peel away from the floor, you're going to stay at the top. You're going to hold it for a little bit longer. Now you're going to push through those heels. You're going to drive those hips up. And then we're going to start to take the arms back. Now your thumbs are heading towards the mat. Try not to pop the rib cage or overarch the back as you're doing this, because you're desperate to get your fingers to touch the floor. In fact, it's better for your fingers not to go as far and you to keep more of that diagonal line through the body. Bring your arms back to your starting position. Shoulders are stuck into the floor. Keep those hips up and starting to feel it now. Draw the arms back. Roughly see your elbows coming in line with your cheek or your eye line, and then lowering the arms back. They can come all the way down to the floor. Then you're going to float them up. So you're going to add in a little bit bigger range of movement now with the arms. They're going to stop when your elbows come to the side of your face, and then you're lowering it back down. Fingertips can touch the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep squeezing those glutes. It's going to be tempting to let the hips drop. Lower the arms. You're going to do that 2 more times. Fingertips tap and then lift. Little pause. Lower it all the way down. Last one with the arms. Reach the fingertips. Still think about your rib-hip connection. Little pause. And then lower the arms all the way down. Only when your arms are down and secure on the floor are you to roll down through the spine. You'll start to want to let the tension go on the glutes. Just keep it there till you're all the way down. Take the ball out. You can hug both of your knees in towards your chest. You can take a little rock and a roll from side to side. That will definitely feel like it's needed. Take some breaths. And you can hold this release stretch for a little bit longer if you want to. From here, bringing the left foot down to the floor, then the right foot down to the floor. Take a full body stretch. Then you can bring yourself either into side lying position to come up, or you can roll up to seated from there. As you're sitting up, if you want to sit on the block, you can. I'm just going to finish by straightening your left leg out, bringing your right foot across and hugging your right knee in. Now wrap your left arm around your right knee and slightly twist to look over your right shoulder. So as you're here, you're going to get a really lovely stretch through the glutes. You can keep the chest lifted. Just hold that for a moment or two before we swap sides. So you've got a rotation through your back as well. Breathe in, breathe out. You can untwist, release that right leg, hug your left leg in. Left foot goes over your right. Right arm wraps around. Take your time to look over your left shoulder, and as you lift the chest, it will encourage this knee to come slightly closer in towards you. Give you a lovely stretch to the outside of your hip and your glute area there. Breathe into that and hold it for a moment or two. Just take your time. And then you're ready to untwist and release that leg. Hope you enjoyed that one. Thank you for joining me.